It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Need something lighter before diving into today's chaos? Daily Comedy News tracks the latest from your favorite comedians. We're your morning download on Mulaney, Gaffigan, Chappelle, SNL, and everyone making moves in comedy. What comedy specials are streaming this week? Who's doing what? And even though it's comedy, there's always a controversy. From arena tours to streaming deals, club comebacks to industry shakeups, think of us as your daily shot of laughs before facing the real headlines. 7 days a week, get Daily Comedy News wherever you get your shows. Daily Comedy News.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where coffee is so expensive Congress is considering declaring it a luxury tax item, this is Ballot.
That's right, and there's a big election happening in Greenland. Let's hit this! Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield. Vice President J.D. Vance has been engaging with his own meme-ification on social media. Yes, the man who is one heartbeat away from the presidency is now posting memes of himself. Vance posted his face over that Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, the one where Leo gets excited recognizing something on TV. Except in this case, Vance was probably pointing at another meme of himself. But here's the thing. His self-posted meme was actually flattering. Meanwhile, the rest of the internet has been absolutely brutalizing him with edits that make him look like a giant baby. We're talking cheeks so round they have their own zip code. There's one where Vance is at the White House with President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky captioned, "You should have said please." I haven't seen a grown man infantilize this much since that time my cousin brought his new boyfriend to Thanksgiving and my aunt kept cutting his turkey for him. Some of these memes have Vance holding giant lollipops and wearing propeller hats. The man is 40 years old. He's one of our youngest ever vice presidents, but these memes make him look like he's auditioning for the Boss Baby reboot. The memes aren't just from the left either. Right-wing accounts are jumping on this bandwagon too. That Cattered account, yes, that's a real political influencer with nearly 4 million followers, called the memes hilarious. American politics in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Singer Dionne Warwick even tweeted that Vance looks like some sort of Cabbage Patch doll every time she opens the app. When Dionne Warwick is roasting you online, you know things have gone sideways. People have seen so many distorted images that many can't even remember what the real J.D. Vance looks like anymore. Though, to be fair, most Americans couldn't pick the vice president out of a lineup even before he became a human meme. At least Vance is in good company. Former Vice President Harris had her own meme moments with her coconut tree quote and the whole Brat album thing. Being memeable might be the only bipartisan thing left in this country. Vice President J.D. Vance just got caught saying what we're all thinking during presidential speeches. Dear God, how long is this going to last? A hot mic caught our esteemed VP chatting with House Speaker Mike Johnson before Trump's address to Congress on Tuesday, saying, "By the way, I think the speech is going to be great. But I don't know how you do this for 90 minutes. Johnson then reached for the microphone faster than a dad lunging for the check at a restaurant. President Trump went on to speak for 1 hour and 40 minutes, breaking Bill Clinton's record for the longest address to Congress. 1 hour and 40 minutes. You could watch the entire movie Jaws and still have time to make a sandwich. Vice President J.D. Vance had a run-in with protesters in Cincinnati this weekend, and apparently, there are two very different versions of what happened. It's like Rashomon, but with Ukraine flags and Secret Service agents. Vance claimed on social media that a group of pro-Ukraine protesters followed him and his 3-year-old daughter around, shouting Slava Ukraini until his daughter grew increasingly anxious and scared. He said he agreed to speak with them if they'd leave his toddler alone. But here's where it gets interesting. One of the protesters, Anne Henry, told local news no one was chasing him. She even shared a 3-minute video of the interaction. Henry explained they just happened to pass Vance while walking to a nearby protest. That's right, they weren't following him. They were just going in the same direction. It's like when you and a stranger both walk toward the same coffee shop door, and you do that awkward dance trying to figure out who goes first. The video shows Vance surrounded by Secret Service agents, because nothing says I'm approachable like a human shield of earpieces and dark suits, having what appears to be a mostly civil conversation about Ukraine policy. At one point, Vance actually admits Russia certainly invaded Ukraine in 2022, breaking from President Trump's recent claim that Ukraine started the war. That's like admitting water is wet while your boss is trying to convince everyone it's dry. Local news confirmed there was indeed a protest of 30 to 40 people near Vance's Cincinnati home, but they were stationary at an intersection, holding signs and waving flags. Some drivers honked in support, while others got into heated arguments with Trump supporters. You know, just another peaceful Saturday in America. Conservative commentator Tim Miller didn't hold back, writing that Vance should be able to handle some yelling in a free country, given that dozens are dead in Ukraine because you stopped giving them intelligence that protected the country from bombs. So either protesters were chasing a toddler through Cincinnati, or the Vice President of the United States exaggerated a chance encounter to gain sympathy. I don't know which is true, but I do know that in America, you're free to protest near the Vice President's house, and the Vice President is free to post about it online. Democracy in action, one social media dispute at a time. Trump says trade tensions with Mexico and Canada will make the 2026 World Cup more exciting. Because nothing gets soccer fans more pumped than geopolitical economic disputes. The president was asked about how the World Cup might play out, given he just slapped 25% tariffs on goods from both co-host nations. His response? Tension's a good thing. I think it makes it much more exciting. Yes, there's nothing soccer has been missing all these years, like a little economic warfare between the host countries. I can see the new marketing campaign now. World Cup 2026, come for the soccer, stay for the trade disputes. Of course, Trump quickly exempted car makers from these tariffs and signed an order exempting various other goods. So it seems the tension will be carefully curated, like putting on a horror movie, but keeping the remote handy so you can fast forward through the really scary parts. The president was speaking alongside FIFA President Gianni Infantino while establishing a task force that he himself will chair. Because if there's one thing Trump knows, it's soccer. I hear his strategy for the U.S. team is just to build a wall in front of the goal. 48 teams will compete in the tournament with games in 11 U.S. cities, plus Toronto, Vancouver, Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey. The final will be at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, which Trump is reportedly insisting on renaming the most tremendous stadium ever, believe me, for the duration of the tournament. I'm just looking forward to when Trump tries to explain the offside rule. It's very simple. The player is offside when... Look, nobody knows offside better than me. It's tremendous offside, the most offside you've ever seen. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI, parody laws, and the attacker receiving the ball behind the last defender or something.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.